So the other day, though, someone did steal a plant from my neighbour's front garden.
In Animal Crossing?
No, in real life.
What?
So one of my real life neighbours has a very nice front garden. He tends to it very, very well. He also has some gardeners that he hires because he's a bit older, so they help him do some of the heavier lifting jobs with sort of reaching up, chopping down leaves and trees. He removed a whole tree recently, but the tree going is for another day. Just someone obviously came along and went, oh, I like that flower, and just dug up like 3 of his flowers and took them somewhere.
See, I was sort of picturing that there's a scale of this apple tree hangs over the pavement, so I snagged an apple. And the other end of it was I went into his garden with a shovel and dug up an entire plant. Like, that's the... If someone snagged an apple from my apple tree, I'm like, you know what, fair enough. I'm not going to use all the apples anyway. If someone digs something up, that's bonkers. Who does that?
I really don't know. So today, if you know anything about the plants, if you know anything about my neighbour's plants, please phone in to Boy Review. The number will be in the description. It won't be. I don't want to give someone my phone number. That's such a bad idea.
1-800-BOY.
1-800-BOY-REVIEW.
Just type it out on like the number pad. Right.
Yeah.
Hambo, should we see?
I'm that guy. Get out of here.
Welcome back, everybody, to another show we like to do here at the weekends, or as you call it, Wednesday. It's, of course, Boy Review with me, Hamish.
And me, Wilkie.
What's up, Wilco?
Not a lot, Hamish. I'm fairly chill. I'm expecting stuff to kick off next week as term begins. I start my creative writing masters. I got a couple of Microsoft Teams meetings to go to this week, just meeting my my supervisors and my seminar tutors for the first time. But
meeting your various teams.
Yeah, all the different teams that I'm in. All my teammates.
Yeah. Do you do lacrosse? Do you do basketball? Do you do fishing?
I actually did do lacrosse. I
did know that.
For a short time, I did actually do lacrosse. I was terrible at it.
I'd imagine you'd be quite good at basketball because you're very tall. Isn't that a thing? Basketball players are good and tall.
I suppose I've got the height. I don't really have the athleticism though. I don't quite have the vertical leap that you need to play basketball.
All you need to do is just grab someone else, lift them up, and they can dunk the ball in the hoop.
I'm fairly certain that's not how you play basketball.
I think that's how I would play basketball. I get picked up.
Yeah, I have to pick you up and dunk you in the basket.
Yeah, and then it turns out you're a bully because you put me in the basket rather than the ball. I'm stuck there,
stuck in the basket.
Oh, that would be a good time. It wouldn't be. I don't like heights.
Oh
no, I really don't like heights, and imagine it'd be very uncomfortable.
Oh, poor Hambo.
But I reckon if you got stuck in the basketball hoop at school, then you wouldn't have to go to any more lessons because they'd go, well, he's stuck up there.
Nothing we can do.
We can't teach him. Yeah, what are we going to do about it? We'll come back for him tomorrow.
Yeah, see if he's fallen out. We'll give him some butter and see if he can solve his problem.
And then they come back and I've baked a really nice cake and they're like, the basketball baker. And then it becomes a whole spin-off documentary and I get to a big competition and I try and bake the cake, but I can't do it anymore, and so I have to get you, the bully, and we've reconciled, and you're like, I don't want to bully you anymore, Hamish, and I'm like, well, Wilkie, you've got to do it, and so then you dunk me in the hoop one final time, and I'm able to do it.
And it's
get back
like
into that mental state.
It's like the finale of Avatar: The Last Airbender, when you get dunked into the hoop, like your baking chakra gets reset, and suddenly you're really good at baking.
Exactly, and then all is good in the world. I bring balance to the 4 elements: eggs, flour, milk, and water.
Yep, I don't know enough about baking to to see if that's correct.
Fire is a component of baking, but I decided
as is
to not
water.
include. As is water. I said water.
Yeah. Air is famously actually a component of baking. That's why you need yeast. You gotta get those bubbles.
Earth is very useful for mud pies.
And it's also like where you grow all the wheat from to make the flour.
True. I guess the 4 elements are just the 4 elements in the end, aren't they?
Yeah.
We've tried to circumvent them, but we have to.
There's
jump
probably
right
a
into them.
reason why those were the 4 elements for a while.
Yeah. Well, we can try and make up 4 new ones. By the end of this episode, we'll have our 4 new elements.
Yes.
I think my baking ones aren't quite right.
Not quite, but we can perfect them. So, Hamish, who goes first this week? I think it's me, because this is episode 6.
It's an even number week, so it means you go first, Wilkie.
Wonderful. Now, Hamish, I'm very excited for today's topic because I sent you a message about it. I may, in fact, for the first time, be talking about something that sort of from the get-go I think is not good. I'm talking about a negative thing. I like to talk about things that I like, which is why I end up giving so many good goods. But today I'm going to be discussing with you, Hamish, the feeling of having people in your house. And,
no. Okay.
Well, I don't mean like, oh, I've got friends over, which though it can't happen for now, is a nice feeling. It's nice having your friends over. Having strangers in your house.
Having strangers in your house, because I don't know about you, Wilkie, but I often have people in my house, whether it's my parents, my flatmates. There's a lot of people I have in my house, and if you were about to say you hate the people you live with, I've been one of those.
You have? No, that's... Again, I don't mean parents, I don't mean flatmates. So some background for this story. I did recently just move into a new house here, near where I go to university, with some a friend of ours and another one moving in shortly. Everything
they might guest on the show at some point.
They may well guest on the show. Everything is going swimmingly, apart from the fact that our boiler was fully broken.
Your boiler?
The boiler, yes, was fully broken. It was a bad boiler, and was just pouring water out onto the house. Not inside the house, but outside the house, which is almost more suspicious because I don't know why it has a hole that goes outside the house, because the hot water's meant to be in the house.
Well, no, because it might have been water was coming out of an air hole because steam's got to leave. So
maybe
it has to get rid of stuff somewhere.
Well, still, water's not supposed to come out that pipe, and it was just pouring water out of the house for like 3 days. And so the boiler man came and... Did
it work?
No.
Could you have showers?
No, we had to turn the boiler off.
Oh no, Wilkie, Wilkie got smelly.
I didn't get smelly.
Could call you Smelkie, am I right?
Okay, now I'm
Tweet
being
at
bullied.
Wilkie Tickets and Sparks on Twitter. I don't know, that's not your Twitter handle.
I think it's Wilkie_DS or Wilkie.ds, who knows. Yeah, tweet at me that I smell with the hashtag #BoyReview. Smell, and we'll give you a shout out.
We'll give you a shout out next week.
But here's the thing, right? I did not enjoy having the boiler man in the house. Obviously, the boiler man is fixing my boiler for me. This is wonderful. However, as per the terms of the contract under which I'm renting this house, it's not my job to arrange the boiler man. Therefore, I did not know the boiler man was coming.
Oh no! Wilkie? Were you in your underpants?
I wasn't in my underpants, luckily I was dressed, but a man turns up and he says, I'm here to fix the boiler. I'm like, oh, okay. I am at least aware that the boiler needs fixing, so I'm glad you're here. Then he brings in a boiler and I'm like, oh, you're here to replace the boiler? And he says, yes, I'm here to replace the boiler. He takes everything out of the kitchen and puts it just on the floor of the living room, including a drawer that I hadn't opened yet because I didn't need to. Turns out this drawer is full of laughing gas canisters. Very suspicious. I did not put them there. I do not partake in laughing gas. Clearly. So this man comes into my house.
Wait, no. We can't just gloss over that bit of the story.
Okay, sure.
When you move into a new place, because I'm a pretty curious person. When I've gone into my new homes, it's like, okay, we'll go in every drawer, particularly because...
Just in case there's laughing gas canisters.
Yeah, what if, Wilkie, was your previous, person that owned your house the Joker?
Potentially, yeah. And now I'm scared that the Boiler Man thinks I'm the Joker. So he's...
Which is bad, because Wilkie's secretly Batman. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, don't tell anyone, but I'm Batman. That's how I got all these muscles. Tweet #BoyReviewMuscles if you think Wilkie's got muscles. So all of my kitchen supplies are now on the floor of the living room, and the man is there.
The man formerly known as the Boiler Man.
And I had to move my bed because it was up against my radiator, and he had to get to the radiator to let the pressure out. I don't understand what that means, but the man is in my bedroom for a period of time. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to look at. I'm trying to look like I'm doing actual work. I start working on a D&D campaign, so it looks like I'm at least doing work and not just watching Minecraft videos on YouTube, which is what I spend most of my time doing these days. And then I can hear him banging around in the kitchen, and it's so anxiety producing.
Wilkie. So where you messed up was that you were trying to pretend to be someone you're not. When this guy comes into your room, you should have just been sat on your table, not at your table, on your table, feet in the air. So you're on your back, feet in the air, and you're going to have your phone just above your eyes. So it's practically a VR display, and you're going to be watching Minecraft videos, but not just any Minecraft video, the loudest, most obnoxious Minecraft song you can find on full whack through multiple sound systems. This man's gonna come in and he's gonna hear the Viva La Vida Minecraft song. I don't know what it is, but that's what it's gonna, and he's gonna start singing.
It's called Revenge by Captain Sparkles. I think that's it.
He's gonna hear that song and he's gonna start singing along, and then you're gonna find a new friend. It's you like Captain Sparkles too? And he just rips open his shirt, and underneath his boiler suit is a Captain Sparkles merch.
He's got the Captain Sparkles' face rips off his mask. He is Captain Sparkles.
He has Minecraft tattoos all down his arms. You look at him and you feel like, that's a diamond sword.
Yeah, I've got a diamond sword tattooed on my arm, and I'm a professional plumber. Oh, okay, you're right.
You tempt him to call you out.
Hamish, he was so...
What did he do, Wilkie?
He was so authoritative. He asked me what I was doing as a degree. I said creative writing, and he just looked at me and said, creative writing, and walked away and continued working on the boiler, and I didn't know what to think about that.
He probably doesn't appreciate you, Wilkie.
No, he probably doesn't.
But we appreciate you here.
Thank you, Hamish.
And I think creative writing's a good degree.
Me too. I'm really looking forward to it. But he was... See, here's the thing. You know the joke where... a boy, not necessarily a boiler man, but a builder, anyone in some sort of construction repair business will refer to their predecessor as a cowboy. This wall, the cowboys built this wall or something. Apparently, my boiler was actually installed by a cowboy because there was nothing on the wall to which you could affix a boiler. It was apparent. I don't know how it was there. I don't know how the boiler was stuck to the wall because usually there's a
lots of glue and duct tape.
Yeah, I don't. Apparently there's meant to be a framework to which the boiler it sits there, and you put some screws in and it holds it on the wall. There just wasn't.
That makes
one.
sense.
There just wasn't one, and so the guy had to put one in, and that took an hour, and so he was there for the most of the day, and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't have lunch because he was working in the kitchen. I couldn't say, hey, can you vacate the kitchen for half an hour, go and do nothing for a bit while I cook lunch? Because I'm not paying him. If I were paying him, I'd feel different because then I could say, hey, man, I don't mind.
In a roundabout way, you are paying him because you're paying your landlord. You're just paying him an extra steps. But, I've been thinking, you mentioned about how there's cowboy builders.
There are.
And I want to point your direction in not to cowboys, but to Daniel Craig's seminal hit, Cowboys and Aliens.
Okay.
I think that your previous boiler person wasn't a cowboy, but must have been some kind of alien with some levitating tech, so you could just leave your boiler stuck there. It's suspended in space.
It just sits there. But here's the thing. This super high-tech alien boiler, here's the real kicker. Here's what makes me really uncomfortable. It's now sitting on the pavement outside my house.
Yes. Okay. Right. So we did the Batman bit earlier. Now what you have to do is you have to go out there every morning, and you've got to train by lifting up one end of the boiler and picking it up, and then it falls over, and then you just keep picking it up, and you do it all the way down the road, then you do it all the way back up again, and people think, man, that guy's cool. He's like so strong.
But
you have all the people just like fawning over you. They'll get out their fans and they'll just like start waving as they walk past, and
start fanning themselves like.
Yeah.
Like I'm Hercules from Disney's Hercules.
Exactly. Someone will faint and you'll have to give them your smelling salts.
Yeah. But Hamish, hang on. We have copied the Brothers McElroy a lot in our years of producing audio content. I would genuinely like some advice from you. So this broken boiler has been sitting on the pavement outside my house for, I think, 3 days now. And that's fly tipping, right? That's fly tipping. The boiler does not work. The boiler man did not take it with him when he left. It's just sitting in the pavement, and I don't know what to do.
Is it in the pavement?
Hamish, I can see it from my window.
Okay, Wilkie, can you bring it back into your premises? Can you put it on your like front? Do you have a front garden?
We have there's a sort of gravel like a car, like not like a car park, but there's like parking spaces behind the house.
Okay, so
but I don't want it. It's broken.
Well, okay, you have two options. I would say first thing, bring it. Step one of both options is to bring it back into your property, because it might be fly tipping. And I don't know. I thought fly tipping involved insects. Obviously, it does not. So we're gonna have to deal with that in a minute. But anyway, bring it back into your property. Step two of Plan A. Email your landlord and say, hey, we have this old boiler. The person didn't take it. Can you come and take it away? Because we can't dispose of it. We can't take it to the dump because we don't have a car. That could work, assuming you don't have a car. Step two.
Neither does Sophie.
If you have anyone coming with a car, because you've got other people coming to live at your flat. Once they've emptied their stuff out of the car, politely ask if you can put the boiler in the car and they can take it to the dump. Now, the Leamington Spa dump, you do have to book it at least 48 hours in advance. So if they're coming in less than 2 days, you are, for want of a better word, fucked. But if they're coming more than 2 days away, you could be okay.
Okay, that's some very sound advice, Hamish. Thank you. Yeah, fly tipping is just illegal dumping, the leaving of rubbish where rubbish is not supposed to be left.
See, I don't see that boiler so much as rubbish, but just useful items in disguise.
You could take
that boiler could do a lot of things.
Take the boiler apart, make it into an Iron Man suit.
Exactly. I reckon at least 75% of those parts in the boiler will also be present in a spaceship. And so I reckon you're a good chunk of the way towards a spaceship with that boiler. And so you're not dumping a boiler on your pavement, you're dumping a spaceship. And no one thinks spaceships are rubbish.
This is true. Okay.
So really you're doing the world a service.
I am, yes. I'm providing the world with more spaceships because we're running out of spaceships because we can't work out how to get them to land properly.
No, because, spaceships are meant to fly. The Song song by Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, is that a callback to our
That's
first
a callback, yeah.
We love callbacks.
It's not the first episode. We did it like an episode ago. I can't remember whatever we do on this show, Wilgie.
We're
meant to be keeping a track of all the topics we do.
Oh yeah, we've got a spreadsheet and we just didn't do it.
I've tried to fill in some, but there are some from episode 2 and 3 that I can't remember, and I don't really want to go listening through the whole episode to recall what they are, and also importantly, what score we gave them.
Crikey. Maybe we can ask our respective significant others, because I'm sure they listen to this show.
I'm sure they listen, so they'll help us out.
If you're one of our girlfriends and you listen to the show, tweet us with the hashtag #BoyReviewGirlfriend.
So Wilkie, what is your review of people coming into your home that you don't know?
My review of having strangers in your house is in this specific sort of type of example, good, right? I'm not going to go
bad.
I'm going to say having someone in your home who is there to, for example, take your possessions or cause you harm. That's bad, right? Thieves and murderers, bad. This man, ultimately, I now have hot water and my radiator works. So that's good. But during his presence, I was uncomfortable. So
that sounds like it's a bit on you, Wilkie, if I'm honest. It sounds like you need to fix your attitude.
Sounds like the boy Hamish just walked away from his computer as if he's delivered some sort of killing blow to my argument. He's left. There's no more podcast. Hamish has won.
It's a mic drop, Wilkie. That's what it is. But I can't drop my mic because it's attached to a whole stand. So it'll take me a good 3 minutes to take it
instead
apart.
The mic drops you and you leave frame. Wonderful. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. So yeah, my review for workmen being in your house and not knowing what to do about it is bad. Good. No. Good.
Well,
bad.
Wilkie.
What's the Hamish? How does our rating system work again? I want to give it a 2.
So it's overall bad. So it's the suffix is bad, and then it's okay. So it's good bad.
It's a good bad. There we go.
So Wilkie, unless you have a segment for this week,
I don't.
But
Not this week.
I'm gonna count down on my fingers. We had a friend that was very good at meeting to count down on his fingers, and I always liked it.
That's my window within which to announce my segment.
Yeah. If you don't announce your segment when I ask you if you have one, that's entrapment.
That's true.
So I'm going to go on to my topic of the week, and I'm joined by my little friend here, Baby Yoda. I'd say he'd be guesting on the show. I realised he's a bobblehead, so you can hear him.
Oh, he's so cute.
It's a Baby Yoda.
So
he's a Funko Pop, but he's large.
Yeah.
So if you've seen a Funko Pop, he's not one of the small 6-inch ones. I think it's 1-to-1 with Baby Yoda. I know Baby Yoda is an imaginary creature. Sorry to let you down, ladies and gentlemen. Baby Yoda does not exist. But I think this matches up with how big Baby Yoda is roughly meant to be.
That's so cool. So I haven't
I'm
actually
put it
watched.
on my table.
I haven't actually watched The Mandalorian. I really want to. So for my sake and for the sake of our fans, let's maybe try and keep this spoiler free. I'm guessing is your topic
okay.
Baby Yoda? Is your topic Funko Pops?
I posted a picture of Baby Yoda because I thought, oh, that's cute. And then I said, this is a topic hint. But I hadn't really thought of what the topic would be specifically.
That's fair.
So I would like to go with exploring a fictional world.
Wow. Okay.
Because, Star Wars has these big mainline 9 films. You've got the original trilogy, 4 to 6. Interestingly, they started at 4. I don't think George Lucas entirely knew how to count, but he did rectify his error with then doing 1 to 3.
I can explain why they started with number 4.
I don't care what the real answer is, Wilkie.
The real answer
No,
is it's in charge of scheduling. Yoda was.
Right, and then episodes 7 to 9 recently came out, and some of those films are pretty divisive. I don't know how you say the word. People love them, hate them. They particularly love to hate them and rant about it online. But I've been consuming a lot of the other Star Wars content recently. I watched Mandalorian a while ago. Recently just finished the Clone Wars, which is a big 7-season long animated series. And what I thought was really cool about that, as well as the Mandalorian, is how they took all of this established stuff and went, let's have some fun with it. Let's get a bit zany. Let's look at this a bit more in depth and at a weird angle and a spin. So what I particularly liked about Clone Wars is it was in a weird way very political. It looked at some of the quote unquote realities of this fictional war and thought that was quite fun. And actually my favorite bit also ties into a video game. So because it has to. I love video games. There's a Star Wars video game called Jedi the Fallen Order. You're an old Jedi. And at one point you have to go to this temple and get a crystal for your lightsaber. And you see that temple the first time in the Clone Wars. And the representation of the temple in that series and in the video game are almost identical, and they were made by two completely different teams, and I thought that was really cool. They stuck to it, and it showed that, you know, they went, this is a fictional place, but it's still a place, so it's still got to follow the laws of how things are. You know, if you go somewhere, it's not suddenly just gonna, you know, if you go somewhere and it's really cold, it's not suddenly gonna be very, very hot. It's not gonna, you know, if you go to an ice capped place, it's suddenly not going to have a volcano shooting out of it. It might, but that would be odd.
Yeah,
so
given
cool
how the world's going these days, am I right?
And again, like, the Mandalorian did some other really, really cool stuff, and I it's sort of this idea about how it's fun to go into a world and see it from someone else's spin.
So I've seen clips of the Mandalorian, and it's really interesting because I was aware that Boba Fett from the original trilogy wears Mandalorian armor. I was never quite sure if he was like a Mandalorian or not. And then I know there's a bunch of Mandalorians in the Clone Wars, because I haven't seen it, but I know that the last season or so is set on Mandalore.
Quite a lot of it is set on Mandalore at various points. Obi-Wan Kenobi had a thing with one of the like Mandalorian. I don't know whether it was Prime Minister or President. It was one of the two, or Queen. She was pretty powerful on Mandalore.
Oh, is that Satine? Is that her name?
Sabine, I can't remember. It was
okay. Sabine is the character from Rebels. I think she's also a Mandalorian, which doesn't help.
Yeah. See, I was wondering if she was named after the person, because it sounded very similar. Yeah, and T.
She's Sabine Wren, and then Satine is the woman from the Clone Wars. Yes. Yeah. So it's I've heard a lot about the way they present like the Mandalorian way of life, and the way that the Mandalorian has this philosophy.
It is the way.
Yeah, it is the way. Like this whole religion that they really sort of go in on, which is like something that has never really been explored in this much detail. And so it's really interesting that, yeah, we get to go in super deep on like part of the Star Wars canon that hasn't been explored before. And there's probably these other little pockets of information, like, oh, we've never been here, never been there, sort of things, that there's probably other places that they could do that with, and that's very exciting.
Yeah, because a lot of people will sort of look at something and go, oh, I don't want to just watch this Star Wars thing. You know, I don't like sequels. I don't like spin-offs. Whereas for me, sequels can be hit or miss for me. Depends actually how good they are. But spin-offs are one of the best things, because I when a spin-off is done well and someone sort of really takes on board everything that's happened before, you know, like the Star Wars game really spun off well from the Clone Wars, how they go, okay, this is all true, what's come before, but now I can go and do my own thing, and I can input something or I can explore something that they've already looked at, and I can start to feed in some of my own ideas, but make it sort of feel both new and interesting, but also the same. Sort of, it doesn't feel like you've suddenly just, you know, you've been making something out of wood, and then suddenly to finish it off, you've just rammed a bit of bronze right at the end of it. You've gone, no, like, it's all been crafted in wood, so I'm going to just finish it off. I'm going to add a little bit more wood to it. I don't think that's quite how wood works, but I'm just going to have a little bit more on, but I'm just going to sculpt it slightly differently, but it will still look like one fluid piece.
Yeah. So the Mandalorian like stands on its own as a TV series, but for people who are fans of Star Wars, there are things in it that they will understand.
Exactly. And also I'd say you don't have to have watched much Star Wars, because, you know, the best thing about the Mandalorian? Baby Yoda. The second time we've seen that species in the entire Star Wars universe. The first one being Yoda.
Third.
Ah, well.
Yoda, I think Yoda has a sister in the prequels. Her name is Yaddle.
I don't remember seeing her.
Hold on.
Well, anyway.
Googling.
And they don't have a name. And I think it's cool that they're exploring more Star Wars, but they haven't given this species a name. And that seems silly. So that they get all upset over at Disney when people start calling it Baby Yoda. It's like, it's not a Baby Yoda. It's like, well, we haven't met a creature with a name that looks like this, that's not Yoda. So it's a Baby Yoda.
Yeah. Also, as we were talking about your Funko Pop, we were saying he. I've read somewhere that the child is a she, and that people are assuming it's a he because people are calling it Baby Yoda, and Yoda is male, or at least as masculine as that alien species can get. Yaddle was not Yoda's sister. Yaddle just happened to also be the same species as Yoda.
Well, Yodel and Yaddle.
Say hello to my Star Wars OC, Yodel.
That's going to be Baby Yoda's name. Yeah, so... exploring a world. I can't remember what I was going to go on before, but exploring a world, I think it's really cool, because we get to do it in, like, so many other different mediums. It's not just in Star Wars. We have fun in our D&D campaign, where we play a sequel to the campaign that Sophie made, your flatmate.
We do, yeah, and that's super fun because we're playing it about 1,200 years in the future, and so out of character, we'll have all these discussions about how the world changed. Why this place that we went on a quest to in the first campaign has now split into 2 countries, and a couple of the players have sort of taken it upon themselves to be the arbiters of that area of the world. Not with any sort of bias towards their characters, just because it's a part of the world that excited them. And so there's this whole political revolution that happened, and now there's 2 countries, and the world feels so rich because we're all sort of getting involved and experiencing and making decisions about it all at the same time.
Yeah, and again, I love video games. They're always exploring this world around them, and they're expanding upon it. You always get new content or new updates coming to loads of games. It's no longer just that a story is finished. It's often expanded upon later, because we have the internet now. You can just beam it across. And I think it's really cool when people, treat sort of fictional places with respect. You'll be doing some creative writing on your course, and I think sort of some of those skills are really, really important. That guy might have scoffed at your degree, but understanding that when you're making something, part of the beauty of it is that it can feel a bit real. When we did improv together, one of the things I remember we were taught was sort of, you've got to you've got to stick to the reality of everything around you. If you're on a spaceship, you can't suddenly be on a pirate ship. If you've been on a teleporter, maybe. But the world doesn't just spontaneously shift around you ever.
Yeah, the world has to have consistency. Speaking of like my creative writing, I spoke to Erin from Prompted recently about how I handle world building for my D&D games, and I was telling her about how I have a map. Right, it's a .png file that I keep on my desktop. And,
does it talk?
Yes, and it whispers
in
secrets.
Spanish.
No, I don't actually recognise the language. It's really weird. It whispers secrets to me while I sleep. Sorry, I got distracted there by all the secrets that live in my head. But this map, I've sort of made myself a promise not to change anything about it, only to add to it. So I've put at least to try not to. So I've put like a scale on the map that I can then use to work out how far it is from place to place. And when I'm planning, I like to hold myself to what the map says, because I have decided that the map is the map is where I've put the pin in, and everything else will move around the map. So as long as I can keep that map consistent, it's almost like I get to explore my own world. So I say to myself, okay, if these are the limitations that are placed upon me, if this character that sort of this NPC who is acting in the background that the players aren't able to perceive, they still have to cover this 1,000-mile distance, and then I have to somehow justify that. And if I say, well, they teleport, then that solves the problem of how they cover the distance. But then I have to think about, well, who teleported them? Do they owe someone a favor now? This character is real. This character is beholden to the rules that I have set up before, but only because I'm holding myself beholden to them. And so it's like you were saying about, I believe, Ilum, the planet where you get lightsaber crystals from. The people who designed Jedi Fallen Order could have redesigned it completely, but they chose to make it like it was depicted in the Clone Wars to keep this consistency.
Yeah, they even so in the Clone Wars there's a scene where basically it's meant to be this trial when you go and get your kyber crystal that goes in your lightsaber, and they have Yoda starts spinning this big giant crystal which refracts light onto an ice wall and melts it. Then when it stops spinning, the ice wall starts to reform, and that exact mechanic was formed the basis of multiple puzzles in Fallen Order. You have to crack ice walls, and I thought again that it was such a beautiful moment of just sticking to what had been come before, particularly because I played it in the reverse order. I played Fallen Order first and then went back and watched Clone Wars, and it was quite exciting to think, oh yeah, like this isn't real, but in this moment I'm able to get captured in it because it feels more real because it stayed the same. And I think that's such an awesome thing when people do it.
Completely.
And I think just getting to explore a fictional world that you've created, like you get to do and we get to do when we play D&D, or if it's in a video game, or just, seeing writers make something that's really awesome and sticks with what other writers have done, because creative stuff's all cool. We don't want to mess around with someone else's creation. We want to play nicely with it. And I think it's all good. I don't know what my topic was exactly, but it was fun.
Yeah, no, that was a really nice discussion. I like that.
And now, okay, this is normally the part of the show where we'd invite a new person to the Good Gang. However, it's not because I forgot to put out an Instagram post.
No.
It's because I made the active decision that we need to keep the Good Gang fresh. We can't just have people coming in all the time. Otherwise, it doesn't become special enough. So this week I thought we'd take a break from it. We don't need a member of the Good Gang. I had thought we could start a bad gang, but that would just become mean. Yeah,
that would either become bullying or it would start to feel like a chore. Because obviously there are people in the world who are bad, right? And we don't want to have to compile a list of them because that's going to get a bit heavy for us.
Would you rather be on the... Would you rather be in the bad gang or the good bad gang? Because the bad gang, we're outright saying you're a bad person, you're shitty. But in the good bad gang, we're saying you're kind of shitty, but we'll hang out with you, I guess. You've got some useful quality to us.
It almost feels like a bit patronizing.
Yeah.
You're like this person is bad. Like this person is at least they are, sure of themselves. At least this person is taking a stand. You, I just don't like you. There's nothing there's nothing wrong with you. I just don't like you.
It's that family friend. I mean, it's like, we have to spend time with each other, but I just don't want to. I think that would be worse. I have to be nice, but I wish I didn't.
Okay, would you rather be on the good bad gang or the bad good gang?
Oh, okay. I'd rather be on the good bad gang, because I'd rather someone dislike me but think I have some redeeming qualities than mostly like me but be critiquing me. It's just like, you're almost perfect. You're so close. You've just got a few little things wrong with you.
You're so close. If you just fix this one little thing, and of course it's something you can't fix.
Yeah, you're just a little bit too many toes on you. 10. Ugh. Hate it.
Lose a couple.
Then come and see me.
But I won't tell you which.
Oh, that would be...
You have to solve this
trap.
riddle. Yeah, you got to solve the riddle of which toes you have to cut off in order to become this person's friend.
I don't like this. I don't like this bit we've stumbled into. I'm going to pull the ripcord.
Yeah, let's move on to a new section of the show, which is our group topic. I think our group topic this week is good. It's not that's not my rating. I'm proud of us for having thought of it, because it's something.
When you say us, you thought of it.
I thought of it, but I pitched it to you and you agreed. It was a collaboration.
Yeah. So Wilkie,
Hamish.
it's currently amid a global pandemic
Yes.
of a coronavirus, not just a specific kind, because a coronavirus is just a shape of virus.
It's like a big ball.
Yeah, it has a corona, like a halo.
That's nice.
It's gonna wipe out the flood and all sentient life.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I should have seen that one coming.
This is a Fortnite. No, not Fortnite. It's a Halo reference.
I'm telling
Ollie.
I'm telling Ollie. I thought it was Ollie.
Learn Ollie's name. He's a great guy. I love
No,
Ollie.
I thought it was Ollie. I just don't trust myself to remember names. I'm so bad with names, Hamish.
That's fair. I'm pretty bad with names too. We've all done it. We've all been there.
So I didn't want to go in there guns blazing with Ollie in case I was wrong. That'd be quite embarrassing. So yes.
Wait, can I? Because fun story.
Okay.
We lived with a person called Alex. Alex Bakes Stuff on Instagram. Go follow her. She does a lot of cool stuff.
Hamish, we tried so hard to not make it seem like we knew her, and now it's gonna look like she cheated.
I said that we have a lot of friends that take part in these competitions. By just the probability, some of them are gonna win. We have a lot of friends that have not won yet. If we were that bad,
that's true.
But anyway, she's really awesome. I met her in my second year of university. Starting my third year of university, I knew I'd met her several times, and I knew I should know what her name is. I, for the life of me, couldn't tell what it was. And she came to improv, and the whole first session, I was waiting for someone to call her by her name.
See, I think I remember that.
It did eventually happen, but I was very worried, because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I know you. No.
As someone who
And
is
then I
on...
chose to live with her.
Still don't know her name. It's just because she's on Instagram. You get to look at it and be like, oh, her name's Alex. As someone who was on the exec of improv at that point, was I? No, I wasn't.
No, you weren't.
What was I doing then? Oh, I was just helping out because I was because I was keen because I'd been there the previous year. I was like one of the people who'd been there before, and then as someone who was then on the exec the next year is what I'm getting at. When you forget someone's name, that feels terrible because I haven't met you before. I don't know your name, and I want to call on you to get you involved in the game, but I don't know your name, and I was often too awkward to be like, sorry, what's your name? Because and when you do that, it's fine. But like if you forget someone's name, it's really not such a big deal. Like especially if you don't know them, like you just met.
It's better to, yeah. It's. I think it's fine to tell someone you can't quite remember the name and sort of admit it. Be open and honest with it, because in that same occasion. Erin, who we know from Prompted, she was also nearby and she was sort of standing a little bit nearby but a little bit off, and it was sort of in enough of a distance like, oh, do I know this person? And is she waiting for me to say hi? And sort of this moment in my head is like, well, if I've forgotten Alex's name, maybe I've forgotten this person's name. And then I felt in that moment that I didn't know two people that I'd met before.
And that's a bad feeling. Before, that's a bad
but
feeling.
It was, I felt like I was an awful human being.
So I have a story about forgetting someone's name. I'm a member of a private Discord server in which some people have very wacky nicknames. They've given themselves wacky Discord nicknames just for this server specifically. And I ended up in a conversation with someone about something, and I couldn't remember for the life of me who this person actually was, because they had this weird nickname that I hadn't seen before. They'd obviously recently changed it, and so I went to like long press on their name to bring up their profile and like open their Discord profile, but I missed and I called them. I'm having a conversation, just the two of us happened to be online at the same time and ended up talking about nothing. And then I start a private video call with her.
Oh no, it's a video, no.
And I cancel it immediately, and I'm typing a message to explain, and she says, "You okay there?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I don't even get to explain myself. She noticed. Beans." I was like, I forgot your name. I was trying to check your profile because I wanted to see what your unnicknamed name was, and I hit the wrong button. And she was like, "Oh, it's fine." And in my head, I was like, "No, it isn't. No, it's not fine. That's like the creepiest thing I could possibly have done."
Oh, Wilkie, no. Oh, well, see, that might not have happened on another service, Wilkie. If it had been Skype, Microsoft Teams, if it had been Zoom.
Yeah.
If it had been Zoom, you would have entered a video call and someone else would have shown up. But no, instead... And there was another one. Didn't Epic Games do one? That
Like
there was a thing for ages. Party House? Or no?
house party.
House Party. Oh, I got the words right.
But yes, our group topic, as I just wonderfully segued us into, Discord. You're right. That wouldn't have happened on other services, but I think that's a plus in Discord's column, because I think Discord is wonderful. Because
You think Discord is wonderful?
yes, because I can see here at the side of my screen here, I've got a little thing with your face on it, or with your logo on it, that says I'm in a call with you, and I've got all these servers down the side, and I don't think there's anything that has quite the breadth of Discord, because on Zoom you can have a room and you can hang out in the room, but then once everyone leaves, it's gone, right? And same on Skype, you can have a group conversation in Skype, but that's just one long text thread. Same with Microsoft Teams, you can have different teams, but that's, you've got to have certain permissions to set one of those teams up, and you've got to be invited. On Discord, you set up a server, and you can choose to have that server be private. So I run our Discord games. I run our D&D games on a private Discord server. Andy runs the other game on a separate server. We have a server for all of our people that used to be friends with us back when we lived in our house last year. We've got sort of this big group that was like the house and all of our like surrounding visitors. And that's 3 different servers. And for me, I was going to say, as someone who likes organization, I don't think that's it, because I'm not very organized. But
you like the idea of organization. It's like, I like organization when it's easy and it's digital.
Yeah, and so on Discord, it's so satisfying to have a well-ordered Discord server. And you probably noticed I try to do this on our house server. I've got all the different bots set up that like automate certain processes, or just detect when I send a haiku by accident.
That's the best one. The haiku bot is so good, and I think it's that sort of open source, maybe not open source, I don't actually know if Discord is open source, but that functionality with so many different programs, which is really awesome. And yeah, I really like it. Say on our house group chat, we've got multiple, or house Discord server, we've got multiple different channels. So we've got one for sending I think memes. So we just like, if someone wants to send a meme, drop it in here and you can just go and see a big back catalogue of funnies. You've got just a general chat where people can talk. You've got some voice channels so people can communicate. We've got a couple of gaming channels for RPGs, for Fortnite and different things like that. And it feels very easy. You can just like, okay, I'm just going to message in here, and someone's like, oh, I'm not interested in Fortnite. I don't need to read that. It's not going to ping everybody. You can, and then you can also at people really easily. The thing I really like in Discord is you can go at everyone, and everyone in the server will get a thing, because it's like, oh, you need to say something important, so like, or ask a question. It's good. I try and do that on Facebook, and I can't do it, and it's
you can't at everyone on Facebook.
You have to at everyone individually.
I think the text channel within all these multiple servers, you can have these multiple text channels. You can store these text channels under different collections. So using the Discord roles system, we had roles for people who lived in the house and for people who just occasionally visited the house. So we have a group of channels, one text and one voice here, that is called House Business, that only people who lived in the house could see. And so that was a nice little way of, like, we could have our own little private section where we could have a chat. If we had to sort of talk about something that was to do with the house, I could at everyone in House Business, and only the people who lived in the house would see, and we could have a conversation that, didn't, the people who don't live in the house don't really have to know what's going on. We don't want to bother them with the notifications, so they don't have to get involved.
Or we can't let them in our plans. And that's why Discord's so good, because it's great for scheming. You can do things and people won't know about it. So when we're going to plan our next big diamond heist on the people that don't live with us, we can do it on Discord, and only the people that did live with us would know.
Yeah, I can do at Diamond Heisters, and only Hamish will see, because he's the only other one with that role.
He could have privately messaged me, but no, he wants people to know that he's messaging me about diamond heisting, but he doesn't want people to see what that message is. He just sort of wants to tease it.
Yeah, we've got the diamond heisting text channel, but no one's allowed to look at it. They can see it's there. It's you can just see it on the horizon, but you can't quite reach it.
And that's why Discord is really good. I'm sure it has some negatives. Honestly, I always feel like it works pretty well for me. So I don't want to sort of say, the service is never always that great or that things, because that would be me lying. My recent Discord problems where I've had to call you with voice on one and audio on another is just because I didn't have a pair of headphones that went from where I am to where my computer is whilst I'm trying to record with you.
That's a Hamish problem. Me. Discord was trying its hardest and you weren't doing well enough. I think one feature that I like about this, another feature I like about Discord, the first screen that you see when you first launch Discord is your friends screen. You can immediately see all your friends who are online, and along the right-hand side, you can see all of the servers in which there are activity. And you can do the same by scrolling down the list at the left-hand side of your screen. I can see right now, in the Warwick Pantomime Society server, there are at least 2 people currently in the voice channel. And I'm like, holy moly, I can jump in there and have a chat with these people. I can see their icons. I know that these are people I want to hang out with. If in one of the public servers I'm in, if I can see, there's loads of people in the voice channel, maybe I'm not interested, but maybe I see some icons that I recognize, and maybe I want to go, check in on the people that I've sort of met in these public servers, sort of discussing, games or one of the D&D servers I'm in where we discuss D&Ding. Maybe I've made a couple of friends there and I can see that they're active, and so I want to chat with them. I think there's ways of talking to specific people. So I think Facebook Messenger, if I had to get in contact with you, Hamish, I think honestly I'd be more likely to Facebook message you, because I think you're going to get a Facebook message more easily. I very rarely use Discord on mobile, especially. But if I want to talk to everyone in the house, I prefer Discord for those group conversations compared to a large Facebook Messenger group chat.
Yeah, I think Discord is very clean. It's very precise. I think it is just very. Are we gonna go with the top score? Well, it's a group topic. Are we gonna go with a good? Do you feel comfortable saying that?
I honestly think I'm gonna go with a good.
Me too. And yeah, so everybody listening at home, use Discord. It's good. We really like it.
Hamish, should we make a boy review fan Discord?
Maybe when we're a bit bigger. I think if we try to make a boy review fan Discord, it would just become our friend group chat.
Potentially, yeah.
And we'll get called out even more. But maybe in the future, I've got I have preliminarily set up a Warthog server.
Oh, that's cool. Add me to that. I want to talk about video games with you and Ollie.
I need to. No one uses it. It's at the moment it is just me and my Warthog account that are in it. It's both of my accounts, and that's all I do on there.
Do you have conversations with yourself sometimes?
No, never.
Oh, okay.
So you on Facebook you can message yourself.
You can. I've done that before with links and stuff, but it's kind of awkward.
It's useful for remembering things because you just have a message that will remind you later. But I'm not going to talk about how sad I am messaging myself all the time, because that's it. Our show is over. We've got to leave.
We've reviewed 3 more topics. We're 3 closer to reviewing everything in the world.
We've reviewed quite a lot of things, Wilkie. I was looking at our document. We've got through a fair number.
Yeah, especially with the little unofficial reviews we occasionally give, just dropping in there that something is bad.
We did one earlier that I can't remember what it is, so I'm gonna have to listen back. I'm gonna have to listen back to the episode when I edit it.
I think I unofficially declared that Murderers and Thieves were bad.
That was it. Murderers and Thieves. That's 2 right there.
Yeah. So we've what's 6 times 3? We've done at least 18 reviews so far.
Our reviews can drink in the UK.
This is true. They can. Next episode, our reviews will be able to drink in America. I think. 18 plus
I
10.
don't know.
Yes, 21. Nailed it.
Now plus 10. So thank you very much, everybody, for listening to this episode. If you liked it, please share it with your friends. That's how we get bigger, and we'll keep doing more of these.
Share it in your favourite Discord server.
Share it in your favourite Discord server. Be nice about it, but say, these guys are funny. We think. We hope. And if you also give us a rating on whatever podcast service you're listening on, follow us on Instagram at Boy Review Podcast. I never remember. I think just Boy Review.
I think we're just Boy Review. If you think we're funny, tweet with the hashtag Boy Review Funny.
Get us trending on Twitter.
Well, I feel like we've spread our hashtags too wide. There's too many different hashtags, so we're gonna, combined they'll be trending, but they won't be because there's 4 or 5 different hashtags.
Well, on that bombshell, we're gonna have to say goodbye. It's a goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Bye.
If you're still listening at the end of the episode, tweet at us with hashtag BoyReviewSecretEnding.